In a quiet corner of the university library, surrounded by shelves of textbooks and study materials, two diligent students, Sarah and David, were engrossed in a conversation about effective study methods. The soft rustling of pages and the occasional murmur of other students provided a calming backdrop to their discussion.
David, have you ever thought about how our study habits impact our academic performance? I've been experimenting with different methods lately.
Absolutely, Sarah. The way we study can make a huge difference. What new methods have you been trying?
I've started using the Pomodoro technique. It's amazing how breaking study sessions into short intervals with breaks in between can boost focus and productivity. Have you tried it?
Yes, I have. It's quite effective. I also find that active recall, where I test myself on the material, helps reinforce what I've learned. It's like training my brain to remember better.
That's a great technique. I've also been using spaced repetition. Reviewing material at increasing intervals helps move information from short-term to long-term memory. It's particularly useful for subjects that require a lot of memorization.
Definitely. I've also been incorporating more visual aids into my study sessions. Diagrams, charts, and mind maps make complex information easier to understand and remember.
Visual aids are fantastic. They make studying more engaging. I've noticed that group study sessions can also be beneficial. Discussing topics with classmates helps clarify doubts and gain new perspectives.
Group studies are great, but they can be distracting if not managed well. Setting a clear agenda and goals for each session can help keep things on track.
That's true. Time management is crucial. I've been using a planner to schedule my study sessions and make sure I'm covering all my subjects adequately. How do you manage your time?
I use a digital calendar. It sends me reminders and helps me balance my study time with other activities. Speaking of balance, I think taking care of our physical and mental health is just as important as studying hard.
Absolutely. Regular exercise, a healthy diet, and enough sleep make a big difference. I've started doing yoga, and it really helps me stay calm and focused.
That's great, Sarah. It's all about finding what works best for you. Everyone has different learning styles and preferences.
David, considering all these methods, do you think there's one study technique that stands out as the most effective, or is it more about combining different methods?
That's a good question, Sarah. I think it's more about finding a combination of techniques that work for you. What's effective for one person might not work for another.
Question. David, considering the various study techniques available, do you believe there's one that stands out as the most effective, or is it more about combining different methods? A. Emphasize the effectiveness of a single, well-known study technique like active recall or spaced repetition. B. Highlight the importance of combining different study methods to suit individual learning styles. C. Suggest that while some techniques may be universally effective, personalizing your study approach is key to success.
Answer. C. suggest that while some techniques may be universally effective, personalizing your study approach is key to success.
David, I believe option C captures the essence of effective studying. Techniques like active recall and spaced repetition are highly effective, but the key is to personalize your study approach to fit your learning style and needs. Combining different methods can provide a more comprehensive learning experience.
That's a great way to look at it, Sarah. It's about finding the right mix that works best for you and adapting as you go.
Exactly. Flexibility is important. What works for one subject might not work for another, so being adaptable is key.
Continuing their engaging exchange, Sarah and David delved deeper into specific strategies for different types of courses and how to stay motivated throughout the semester.
Sarah, as we discuss these strategies, do you think study methods should vary depending on the subject, or are there universal techniques that apply across all disciplines?
That's an interesting question, David. I think some techniques are universal, like active recall and spaced repetition, but others might be more subject-specific. For example, practice problems are crucial for math, while essays and discussions are better for humanities.
I agree. Tailoring your study methods to the subject can enhance understanding and retention. For instance, case studies are great for business courses, and lab experiments are essential for science subjects. Question: Sarah, considering the diversity of academic subjects, do you think study methods should vary depending on the subject, or are there universal techniques that apply across all disciplines? A. Argue that study methods should be tailored to each specific subject to maximize understanding and retention. B. Suggest that there are universal techniques that can be applied across all subjects for effective studying. C. Propose a balanced view, acknowledging that while some techniques are universal, others should be tailored to specific subjects.
Answer: C. Propose a balanced view, acknowledging that while some techniques are universal, others should be tailored to specific subjects.
Sarah, I'd go with option C. While techniques like active recall and spaced repetition are universally effective, it's also important to tailor study methods to the specific requirements of each subject. This balanced approach can enhance overall academic performance.
I couldn't agree more, David. It's about using a variety of techniques and adapting them to suit different subjects and learning needs.
Absolutely. And staying motivated is just as important as the techniques themselves. How do you stay motivated throughout the semester?
Setting small, achievable goals helps keep me motivated. I also reward myself after completing a study session, whether it's a short break or a treat. How about you, David?
I find that having a study buddy helps. We keep each other accountable and motivated. Also, reminding myself of the bigger picture and why I'm studying keeps me focused.
That's great advice. Having a support system and keeping your goals in mind can make a big difference.
As they wrapped up their conversation, both felt more confident in their study strategies and inspired to apply them in their academic pursuits. Sarah and David left the library with a renewed sense of purpose and a toolbox of effective study methods, ready to tackle their upcoming exams with confidence and determination. Here are 5 words and phrases related to the theme of effective study methods for students.
Active recall, a technique that involves testing oneself on the material to enhance memory and understanding. Spaced repetition, reviewing material at increasing intervals to improve long-term retention.
Visual aids, tools like diagrams, charts, and mind maps that make information easier to understand and remember. Time management, the practice of organizing and planning study time effectively to cover all subjects adequately.
Motivation, the drive to stay focused and committed to studying, often maintained through goal setting and rewards.